Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome to the last question mark challenge here today for the 2019 Mexican Grand Prix. Today we take on the challenge with Max Verstappen in his Red Bull racing car. Mexico, obviously, being so high above sea level, is usually a place where Red Bull can kind of get a level playing field on the other teams with their engine power. Obviously in the past it was the Renault issue, and this year it will be the Honda, and if it can cope with the long straights, of course Ferrari should in theory be very strong. This video being uploaded straight after qualifying, but ahead of Sunday, but I'm doing the commentary actually before the entire race weekend even begins. So I have no clue what the pace is like in, over one lap or even in the race. So you guys will be more informed than me. So we'll just see if I can do any kind of spooky business here, predicting anything like the pole position or what it's going to be like in tomorrow's race on Sunday in terms of the finishing positions of not only Max Verstappen, but the guys I'm racing, perhaps even the fast lap of the Grand Prix or anything like that, or vice versa, jinxing it, you never know. But from the back here, in the game at least, on F1 2019, the game, I think it will be a little bit difficult. I'm going to run a very compromised setup here, basically, and run very low front and rear wings. I'm thinking about 3, so about the same I nearly run for the Italian Grand Prix, because the Red Bull should in theory have the downforce anyway to kind of compensate for running such lower wings, basically. So going to go for that. Hopefully it won't be too bad in the second sector. You come to Mexico, you think Red Bull will be strong. Obviously Verstappen's played down the strength of Red Bull going into the race weekend, but obviously he might prove that completely wrong. Obviously you guys have seen qualifying, so you can let me know if I'm wrong in the comments below, but be sure to let me know what you guys are thinking for the race tomorrow. But let's just get towards this end. The strategy will be, of course, a one-stop because it's a 25% race, so no time to dawdle. We have to make the overtakes as punchy as ever. Hopefully we can do that, and the Red Bull, like I said, under braking, hopefully that'll be pretty decent. But let's get into this then, as we're going to go to 5 red lights then for this Mexican Grand Prix, starting on the middle compound, the medium tire, and here we go then to 5 red lights from P20 on the grid. Last place, we're on the way, and it's a good start for us compared to Robert Kubica. This video being recorded after the 1.15 patch, so finally the AI actually don't have such an OP start on me, and I actually get a great tow of George Russell there, and we could make up a position into P18 potentially. We can see a big gap opening on the right there, and we go in a diagonal line across 3 cars, get tapped a little bit by Lance Stroll. That cuts us off for the apex. Going to try and lunge around the outside, nearly go off on the grass though, and so in the end we have to settle down for P16, but we've got Raikkonen, and we also got the Toro Rosso of Kvyat, I believe then, and so for the first time in this challenge actually, I can actually see obviously the Toro Rosso Red Bull situation actually play out then. You can see Gasly up ahead in the Toro Rosso there, following that patch earlier on in this week here for the F1 2019 game. But we get down the inside of Lance Stroll then, nipping down easily, making up for what didn't happen basically into turns 1 and 2 there with him, with an easy overtake up into P15. Then we can see Ricciardo struggling to fight Giovinazzi there. Now Romeo actually getting the better of the Aussie man as we go through sector 2. Now this is where the compromise on this setup is kind of crucial, that if I can get enough downforce on these guys up ahead and still be okay with these lower wings, then I should be Gucci. And you can see here I am, that the time I brought up there on Ricciardo through those corners, lifting off early, tactically trying to plant the power down a little bit earlier than he can. It worked out really well. Now we send one down the inside of Giovinazzi. Bit of a scrappy overtake, that I will admit, as we sent it quite late on Giovinazzi, and there was a bit of contact made on the rear right of my car, but that was more for Giovinazzi's AI kind of turning into me, even though I was fully alongside him and fully actually up ahead of him, really. He just kind of was a bit stubborn on that. So Robert to P13 though, no harm done, and now we chase after Pierre Gasly. So for the first time in this game, I can see him in the Toro Rosso then. So can we try and overtake him very swiftly, try and get onto the back of Lando Norris potentially? Let's see, as there's a big train here, and it's led by Romain Grosjean, I believe that is, in the Haas car here. So potentially 4 overtakes I'm going to make on this next lap. I'm hoping to get a move on here. P13 after 1 lap is okay, but Gasly with a massive send down the inside of Lando Norris there. I tried to go to the inside of Gasly, didn't work out. I pulled to the outside, and instead I just watched Pierre go down the inside of Norris instead, and so he's going to make the move around the outside. So a wonderful move there by the Frenchman, and Norris is squeezed out there. So maybe Gasly heard me talking about an easy overtake on him, and he's made it literally the opposite there, and I almost kind of completely got brake straight by Lando Norris into the S section, so have to watch out for that. So now we're still just sitting in P13 now, but I'm going to try and make an effort around the outside here. Going to go for a big old dive there and just go the long way around, try and feed it through also on Gasly, who hits the curb a little bit on the inside here. And we're going to go aggressive here as ever, lock up on the front left tire, squeeze him out though, and that actually, I do him dirty there, because he actually now gets overtaken by Lando Norris on the top left, you can see. So we're up into P11 then, but definitely got the elbows out for that one. But now we're only 1 place away from points paying positions. We go on to lap number 3 then, with DRS enabled now from this lap onwards. But Obviously, remember, we're on the medium tyres. We made really good progress to say we're on the mediums, on the slower compounded tyre. And so, as we go on through this Grand Prix, the next few laps really as well, because Mexico is quite high on tyre wear, as we go on through these laps, these guys might get more tyre wear on their soft tyres, and I will actually get faster despite being on the slower compounded tyre, because I'll have more tyre life in me. And then, at the end of the Grand Prix, lower fuel on soft tyres, you'll be able to make a real charge. But at the moment, trying to make a charge on Grosjean didn't work out in turns 1 and 2. But here we go now, nipping to the inside of this right-hander. It's a very sweet move there. Lined it up around the outside of the left and then got it done on the right there. Tried and hustled and harried Grosjean in the first few turns, but it didn't work out. But eventually we got it with patience there. And so we're up into P10 as we now move on to lap number 4, closing down Carlos Sainz. I wasn't sure we were going to overtake him here, but at the very end of the straight, overtake mode, it kicks in there. We just about get enough speed there. We send one with a really hard dive down the inside into turn 1, and we slow the thing down to my surprise and get it done up into P9 there. So the Red Bull really is a monster on the brakes there, but I was in high ERS mode and it didn't look like I was going to catch Sainz, and then just in the last minute I switched into overtake mode and thought I'll go for it, because it looks like we're sort of getting a bit of a slipstream from him, and lo and behold, right at the end there, enough slipstream to send one to the inside, and we got it to P9. So now we go through the stadium section as we end lap number 5 onto lap number 6. We close up to another train here now of Hulkenberg and Hamilton of all people there in the middle of this train. So Hamilton not performing too well. I mean, look at the gap on the minimap there. From the start of this train to the next train, Hamilton is way off the pace here as we overtake the German then. He goes for the move to actually put one more car between us there of Kevin Magnussen, but we've got the Renault. Hopefully we can get the Haas cars into turn 1. Magnussen locks up there. Is this maybe opportunity to sneak one to the inside of the next right-hander? Yes, it is. It's a very opportunistic move and a silky smooth one at that. And we're up into P7, and now we can continue the chase on Hamilton, who's very slow at the moment on P6. Maybe he's got major tyre wear. Obviously, in real life, Mercedes in the past have been known to have tyre issues here at the Mexican Grand Prix, so maybe that is the case here for him in the game, and might be the case for Hamilton tomorrow in the Grand Prix. Of course, in real life, Hamilton can round up his 6th World Championship tomorrow if it goes his way, but maybe this is a sign of things to come, maybe a bad omen for Hamilton in this Grand Prix, in this last question mark challenge. We will have to see. You guys come back after tomorrow's race and let me know if we did any kind of bad juju for Hamilton, or vice versa, kind of good luck, maybe for Valtteri Bottas in some kind of way. Obviously the only other man who can mathematically win the championship. You can see there we overtook him in a straight line pretty easily up into P6 then, so he's definitely struggling for tyre wear there, as it's now lap number 7 and we're up into P6. Yellow flags for, I believe it's I think McLaren is retired there of Carlos Sainz in the stadium section, but we're closing up now to our teammate Albon, and it looks like he might be sizing up a move on another car. It's going to be a very lofty Sergio Perez in the Racing Point car, his home Grand Prix of course, so if he was in a position like this tomorrow, I think he'd be very, very happy. But we'll go for the double move then, just about got it done on the left-hand side there, graze the grass, and we go round the outside of Albon and get the job done into P4. So another really smooth overtake, and so we're halfway through this Grand Prix and we're up into P4. You know what, I think this compromise setup with running very low wings, you know, Monza level of wings, I think it's worked out an absolute tree here, and I think we could be on to challenge for a strong podium here, because Vettel's just up the road, and you can see maybe 2-3 seconds ahead is Leclerc and Bottas. Vettel comes in lap number 9. I thought about coming in on that lap here. All these guys are going very long on their soft tyres, which is also very peculiar, so it's a mixture of this setup being really good with the Red Bull car, and the AI for some reason are going way too long on the softs. If I start on the soft tyres, I probably would have pit on lap number 8 or 7 really, because the tyre wear really is that bad in Mexico, so I don't know what they're playing at, but we come through lap number 10. I don't pit that lap because I knew that Albon was going to come in. I didn't want to compromise his strategy there, but we come through, going to box this lap on lap number 11, but look at that on the top left. Valtteri Bottas has gone onto medium, so he's gone soft tyres for 10 laps, and then he's boxed onto mediums for onto hard tyres for 8 laps. It just doesn't make any sense, so a very weird strategy here in the 25% race for the Mexican Grand Prix for the AI there. We come in on lap number, well, onto lap number 12, onto soft tyres, but yeah, very bonkers. So we're now going to be a lower fuel, softest compounded tyre. In the case of Bottas, we're 2 compounds softer than him, so we are looking very good. So here we come now down the main straight. Bottas is past, Vettel is through, but Leclerc is not, and we jump Charles Leclerc there. So we're up into P3 with the pit strategy there. The overcut working a treat then for us on the medium tyres, and now we chase after Vettel on mediums and Bottas on hard tyres, and we've got 6 laps to do it on fresh soft tyres. I think this has all the hallmarks of that coveted last to first accomplishment. So here we go then, onto lap number 13. Vettel is going to make a move maybe on Valtteri Bottas. He's pressurising the Finn, but no move made yet, but maybe just piling on the pressure, and maybe we can try and join in on that, as it's now pretty much nose to tail for P1, P2 and P3 here. Now we're just going to sit here behind and try and size up a place. Maybe we can try and swoop to the inside, potentially if they're kind of fighting into this next section as Bottas goes defensive. He locks up. Bottas locks up. We lock up on the front left. We go for a little lunge on the Ferrari. Don't make the most of it though, as we're going to get chopped off there at the apex. So I thought better of it. But Bottas already under pressure, then making a mistake straight away the first time of asking. So here we go now, onto number 14. Just played it, kind of, cool and kind of patient here, because I know in a straight line the car is not too bad here. We've already shown it's had decent straight line speed with the compromised setup. So here we go now for the double pass. A little bit of an iffy lift off there, so we had no room to move. But here we go now, getting the toe off Sebastian Vettel. We're already up into P2, but now can we swoop around the outside for first place in the Mexican Grand Prix? Yes, we can. And so we lead the race with Max Verstappen from last place on the grid. Absolute scenes here at Mexico with 4 laps to go in the Grand Prix. Fast up the Grand Prix as well for Verstappen here. I'm pretty sure he'd be very happy with that if that was the case in real life. But we come through now into the last few corners here, into the stadium section. Of course, the fanfare is out there. It's a very unique position to be in Mexico. Go through this amazing stadium section, and we're going to get first place at the Mexican Grand Prix for the last Question Mark Challenge. I believe the 3rd or 4th time only we've done it this entire season for one of these challenges. But there we go. We've crossed the line. We're first place. Vettel gets second then, and Valtteri Bottas gets third. And Hamilton, I think he was like way down in like 5th place, which would be horrendous for him in tomorrow's real life Grand Prix. But it might just be a thing that could happen, because obviously when talking to Tom and Cal on the podcast, when we talked about it, there's an air and feeling that maybe it will go to USA and be kind of fittingly crowned there for Lewis, because obviously he's got a lot of celebrity friends at USA. It'll be quite fitting for him to crown his own championship at the USA Grand Prix rather than Mexico for the 3rd time in F1 history. But we'll see about that. But that has been our challenge done, and that's as successful as you can get from last to first. So guys, if you did enjoy it, be sure to smash the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, subscribe for weekly full-on content, and crucially, let me know your predictions for tomorrow's Grand Prix, and be sure to come back after the real life Grand Prix and see how we did, and let me know if I jinxed anything or got anything right. Till then, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye.